Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is J Flow Triple Foe. Okay. So listen, I haven't done any videos. Well, actually, I did one last week regarding the Graco 390 PC um, tall boy. Basically, it looks like this. It's a tall boy because it stands on wheels, and they make another model with the exact same PSI motors and whatnot. And it's one of those carrying ones, but this one has the wheels. It's a lot more beneficial to me, especially when you got a bad back. Okay, don't try to lift these things if you got a bad back. Anyway, so they sent me the a packing kit, and we've put these things together on various occasions. So I mean, we can do this with our eyes closed pretty much. There's probably about 20, 30 seals, gaskets. If you mess up one little spot, you're out of there. Usually those packing kits will run you about 140, 150 bucks. And so I called Graco and I said, okay, look, my sprayer works, or it wasn't working. There's a leak in the system. It's got to be a manufacturer defect. Mind you, I've had this unit for a couple of years, but these things are supposed to work about 5, even 10 years flawlessly. And all you do is you replace an O-ring here and there. But this particular model, for some reason, I've had hell with it. And so they did send me this endurance pump kit. Now, this model number is 17C as in cat 487. They're very easy to install. It's not very hard. So it shouldn't be a problem. The problem that I was having with my system is, people don't take care of your products like you yourself do. Now, this model here, I think I paid like $1,000. I said on my last video like $2,200 or $2,300. That was incorrect. I paid, I believe, a little bit less than $1,000 for it, but it is a contractor series, meaning, they're built to last, longevity, duration. They're built to last. And so this one has lasted me probably 2 years, and I'm already having problems with it. And I have another Graco, an old model that still works today, but I don't have a sprayer for it. Yes, I could have took the sprayer gun off of this one, put it on the other one, but I like to keep all my spray guns together with the original. So I'm just gonna have to break down and buy a new sprayer for this other machine here. Anyways, I've seen videos on how to do the replacements, but they're not very thorough and very clear on how to install that. So I'm going to attempt to install this pump, put it together, give it a spray, and see how that goes. This video is not sponsored by Graco in any form or fashion. Everything that I present on video, I pay out of my own pocket, with the exception of this. This is compliments of a warranty replacement. And so again, register your products. Make sure you, because if you don't, guys, and you buy a $1,000 equipment and it lasts you a year or 6 months, which it can happen. I've seen units that last a month and they mess up, and then you got to go and get it serviced, blah, blah, blah. Graco has a pretty good system. So what happens if you have a manufacturer defect, if you live in a big city, they will have a Graco service facility at that particular area. And if they do, then you just go drop off your Graco. They'll fix it for free, and you just go back and pick it up. But when it's a Graco product, you have to call Graco, give them the serial number and the model number. Then not more than likely you're going to have to show proof of purchase, which I done. And so they sent me a kit because our nearest technician facility is in Odessa. And so, I mean, again, this has got 2 outlets. You got one, or actually 3. You got one here, one up here, and one up here. So, it's pretty easy to replace. I don't need to drive all the way to Odessa and spend, 3 hours on the road to and fro just to replace this kit. So I'm going to do this on my own. And then immediately afterwards, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the replacement cartridge on one of these newest new improved guns. Now, I read on a forum that these guns, they have a defect. So I was trying to get Graco to replace that one with their newest one at no additional charge to me, because if they know there's a defective part in the Graco of their own gun, then usually they'll just replace it. So they gave me the cartridge. I'm going to replace the cartridge. If it lasts a couple of years, I'll be happy with it. But again, you know, register your products and call Graco, notify them, and they will do a really outstanding job taking care of their customers. So let's get to work. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is, you see this little Graco emblem. This emblem comes up like that. You see this little piece right here. Let's see if I can see that. Well, okay, you see this little ring here. This right here that I'm pointing out. You're going to tap that counterclockwise. Once you retake this out, it's going to only go so far because your thread stopped right there. I wouldn't recommend going all the way to the bottom, because if you do, you're going to have a problem, or it might be hard to unscrew it from this area here. So just go ahead and hit this just far enough where you can remove this. There's also this back piece. Let me see. I can't see. Okay, this right here. You're going to unscrew this thing right here counterclockwise, and this should just slide out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You're going to need a hammer, maybe a big flathead screwdriver, and you're just going to tap on these little rings right here counterclockwise, and this thing will start screwing down. Counterclockwise as well for this, and you're just going to pull this whole thing out towards you. Okay, correction. On this particular piece here, you tighten it clockwise. I mean, to unscrew it, you're gonna go counterclockwise. To unscrew it, you're gonna go clockwise. So I had that backwards. So clockwise to unscrew, counterclockwise to tighten it. So there's a little shaft that goes inside this little nut. There's a male, and this is your female. So whenever you pull this whole thing out, it's going to slide out like this. So let's go ahead and pull this like this, and there it is. That quickly, guys. That's how quick it is done. Okay. So again, this is what it looks like. Now, I did replace all the packing in this. I'm assuming I might have done something wrong, but you know what? They sent me a brand new one, so let's just put the brand new one in, okay? All right, so let me explain something to you here. This right here is called your foot housing. Inside, you have a, I don't know, a 1/4 inch silver ball bearing that goes in there, and there is a little washer. So this actually screws into your pump, just like this. So you're going to tighten it clockwise, and then this goes back in here. This is what sucks the paint from the bottom of your can. It goes up into your pump, pumps it into your machine, and then it sprays out at the other end on your spray gun. So let's go ahead and replace this foot housing onto this shaft, because there was a piece that broke, and that right here in here, I believe that's where my problem was from the very beginning. Because I took this right here off. I replaced all your packing with all your new O-rings and your gaskets and whatnot, and there's about 20 or 30 of them in there, guys. So if you've never done that, I strongly recommend that you look on there is a graco.com that'll show you step by step on how to replace them, which is where I went. I have not seen any videos, and because of the lateness of the time, I just didn't have the strength to go get the camera. But I need to make a video, because there is not a video in there that shows you step by step how to do it. Graco has one, but it's really just a quick video. And I'm I'm not going to say ignorant when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I'm a pictorial type of person, so I have to be able to see hands on. And if you're one of those type of people like myself, you're probably going to want to watch a video like mine so that you can look at it step by step. So again, I have removed this piece. Here's my foot housing right here where my finger's hitting, and then you have your big long shaft, and at the bottom you have your little filter, and that goes into your paint and it sucks it up and goes up into your pump. So let's go ahead and replace this and go from there. All right, so I'm looking at this one here. I've noticed that it's already got all the grease inside of it. Here's your foot housing on the bottom of this. Up, you see these little red things? You want to remove these protection seals. You got to make sure you remove those, because if you don't, you might mess up your pump. So all you're going to do is just pull it out by hand. Okay, so notice in here you got your housing. See how that is nice and pretty? And let me show you the old one. I mean, I cleaned it out pretty good, guys. So I mean, there's the other end that I just showed you. So that white thing you see in there is actually it's just a hose gasket for a water hose. You can actually replace those. And here's the other side. So let me go ahead and take this off. Gosh. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to try to take it off. Anyways, this already comes with everything. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back. I was going to try to take your foot housing off, which is this bottom piece I'm holding, because that's where my problem is in the old unit. So let's go ahead and replace this and see if it sprays, guys, because it literally takes 2 minutes. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn it like this. You're going to slide it. Okay, so okay, very important, guys. You have this piston right here. Go ahead and pull it out. Okay, you see that brass looking nut or screw head? That's what it looks like to me. That is a piston. So in here, you have this little see if I can get a good angle on this. It's kind of hard in the sun. Okay, right here. You see this right here where my finger is? That goes up and down. So it's very important that that piston goes and slides inside this little shape of the piston, because if you don't, you're going to have problems getting that piston inside that shaft. So because this is a new one, it's slightly higher than the other one. So when I remove the old one, it's too low, so it needs to go up a little bit higher. So what you got to do is turn on your system, and then, well, I guess it'd work if I had power, right? Okay, so I got it on right now. Be careful. See how that thing is going up and down? You want it to go all the way up. So it's just one of those things where you just gotta play with it. And see, like right there, I turned it off and it's at halfway. And that's not where we want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on again, on and off. And there it is. So I turned it off and on, and now it is at the very top, which will now give me enough play to slide this in and install it, the new one. So make sure you don't got no gunk in there, because any debris or grass, blades, anything like that of that nature will cause an effect on your new system. So let me just slide this in here real quick. There it is. Easy peasy. So look, as you can see right there, the piston is inside that little slot. You want to make sure it's inside all the way. Once you get it on there, make sure this is lined up. And you're just going to put this, well, hold on, I'm going to have to pull it back out because that little shaft has to slide in that little black deal here. So, pull this back up. This has got to slide in all the way. So, first thing you want to do, see that this little black thing right here? This nut. You got this shaft right here where my finger is that slides inside the female, and then once you get it all the way, you're going to count clockwise turns, and then get this started, and then slide this back inside that piston, the piston up in the top portion like I just showed you. So let's go ahead and tighten this down a little bit, get her going. That's then. And we're going to want to go this just like that. So there you got it right there. I'm going to just turn this slightly, maybe, I don't know, 5-10 pounds of pressure. Hand tighten really is what you got to do. And then again, make sure that this portion is up in that piston, is in that slit or that hole in the motor. So let's go ahead and tighten it up and load it up with some water, some warm water with soap to clean out your system, and hopefully we'll have a running machine. Alright guys, so I got it all tightened up. It literally took me 3 minutes to install. Great thing about these Graco 390 PCs is you've got these packing V pistons that go inside here that are quick connects, disconnects. Now these run you about $230. You could probably catch a sale for like $189.99. I got lucky, it was still under warranty, and I got blessed by Graco, and so they sent me a free one. So again, make sure you register your product. So let's give this a shot, guys, and see if it works. Again, here's the shaft. You have a nut. You got this little washer right here, this black one, which I've already replaced. Slide it up like that, and you're going to turn it on its back like this, and you're going to slide this inside the hole like that, and then you're just going to turn clockwise, give it a little tighten. I usually just give it a little hand tight, nothing too dramatic.